So Lucas, Scorpion or Sub-Zero?
Well, Sub-Zero, of course.
Fucking two right, mate. So Lucas, would you like to explain to the lovely people at home what we're talking about today?
We are talking about, the Ice Ninja Sub-Zero.
Yes, and we will be referring mainly to the Sub-Zero wiki on the Mortal Kombat wiki.
Oh, okay,
Which
cool.
exists in Is Awesome. And even more specifically, we'll be referring to Kuai Liang, who is the second Sub-Zero canonically in the games, and I believe the third one in terms of his lineage.
It's already bullshit.
Yeah, because people might not know, there's multiple Sub-Zeros, including one in the past, who is the original Sub-Zero's granddad.
What?
And the Sub-Zero in the games now is the brother of the original Sub-Zero who died and became Noob Saibot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like Mortal Kombat lore, I think the quote is, come for the gore, stay for the lore. So you know what, Lucas? Let's jump into the lore right now, shall we? So we've got Sub-Zero, general information. Real name, Kuai Liang. Gender, male. Origin, Earthrealm, specifically China. Resides in Earthrealm, and his species is a human/cryomancer. Which to me is the coolest shit ever, because it means he has control over ice.
I mean, it's literally the coolest shit ever.
It's also the most broken OP power ever, because I think we've talked about it before, where was that comic for the X-Men, where Emma Frost takes over Iceman, says you're a fucking moron. You don't create ice, you remove energy from the atmosphere. That's the most OP shit ever.
Yep.
And I think when he gets his body back, because, comic shenanigans, like she takes over and he gets it back, he instantly becomes an Omega level threat. It's like, oh yeah, you could just bring in a new ice age by removing all the energy from the Earth's atmosphere.
He's just realised what power he actually had all along.
Which really puts into context that moment where the guy who can just control fire tries fighting him and then he just headbutts him. Which I quite like about Sub-Zero. As the games have gone on, they've added to his model, he's got frozen hands.
Oh, yeah.
Which is an explanation for his power is too great that he can no longer control it. So he's just literally constantly just got frozen hands.
Oh, God.
So let's go. In Mortal Kombat, the weapons that he uses are the Ice Scepter, the Kori Blade, cybernetic weapons, Ice Daggers, Ice Hammer, Poleaxe, and Kunai. So do you remember the Dark Age of Mortal Kombat where it had weapon styles and shit?
I didn't really play those. I've only really played Mortal Kombat, 2.
Okay.
And then started again with Mortal Kombat 9 when they did a bit of the reboot.
Yeah, they literally rebooted the entire universe. It's just, I think it is just Raiden goes back in time. Oh, sorry, Raiden. To get confused, it's Raiden in Mortal Kombat, but Raiden in Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
So Raiden gets a vision from himself in the future saying he must not win.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
And he misunderstands a message from himself, and it turns out you can't let Liu Kang win. And Liu Kang basically destroys the world. It's like, oh, god damn it, that game's stupid. So fighting styles, Shotokan and Dragon.
I want to fight like a dragon.
I thought it was always just ninjutsu, because obviously he's a ninja. But actually, no, they're not. Have you ever heard that? In one of the introductions in Mortal Kombat 11, it's like, oh, cool, you're a ninja. And Mortal Kombat was, the Lin Kuei are not ninjas. And he gets really mad about it. And someone says, so why do you dress like them? It's we're not ninjas, but we dress like them.
Why are there a dozen characters all dressed like ninjas that apparently aren't ninjas?
No, Sub-Zero is not a ninja. So and then we have the games he's appeared in, which I think is almost every single one.
I would hope so.
He's almost every single one, bar one or two.
Well, he's one of the two mascots for the series.
But he's not Ed Boon's favourite. That honour belongs to Scorpion.
Oh, fuck Scorpion.
Which is why I think it's Mortal Kombat 9, where on the character select screen you press start and just Sub-Zero gets wrecked. Sub-Zero getting wrecked on the start screen. So should we start with just a basic summary of who Kuai Liang is?
It already sounds like it's not going to be very basic, Karl.
So here's a quote from him, which is, his 2011 battle cry, which is, "This fight will be your last."
Oh, that's cool.
He has some of the greatest quotes in the series.
Yeah.
My favourite one being where it's I don't know who he's talking to. It's the person who kills Scorpion in the story. But then Scorpion comes back and it's you killed Scorpion. And they go, but he is your enemy. And Sub-Zero crushes his ice in hand and goes, he was my equal. It's so fucking cool. It's that he knows.
It's Mortal Kombat is the perfect setup for quotes like that because you're literally fighting to the death.
Yeah. But I just love the idea as well that Sub-Zero's I hate him, but he's my equal.
Yeah.
And I think they even have an intro when they're fighting each other. It's one more round, Scorpion. It's yeah, go on then, why not?
He's like his Goku. He pushes him further.
They have that Goku and Vegeta moment of we know we're going to keep fighting, so fuck it, one more. So Kuai Liang, which literally means quick cooling in Chinese. Of course it does. Better known as Sub-Zero, which in his original language is Absolute Zero. Is a Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, formerly known as Tundra and briefly as the cyborg LK520.
Very briefly.
When he was, Cyber Zero. He's a Lin Kuei assassin in the Mortal Kombat fighting series. He is the younger brother of Bi-Han, who was the original Sub-Zero in the first Mortal Kombat game.
I like the fact that his name is literally Cooling, but he wasn't the Sub-Zero.
No, he was Tundra originally.
Yeah.
Tundra, which is so lame, which I think was the original name they're going to give him until they realised Sub-Zero sounds so much cooler. So, about Sub-Zero. There are, in fact, 2 incarnations of Sub-Zero, and they are siblings. Older brother Bi-Han and younger brother Kuai Liang, who we're talking about today. Both are blue-garbed warriors who at different times have used the code name Sub-Zero, and both serve the Lin Kuei. God damn, I love this series. It's so dumb. Both are descended from cryomancers, an outworld race possessing the ability to generate and control the powers of ice. However, they were both born in Earthrealm, and only the younger Sub-Zero would discover his heritage. Kuai Liang bears a scar on his right eye, which he received between the events of Mortal Kombat 3 in the new timeline. The scar was made by Kano, as revealed in one of the comic books.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Kano would go for the eye.
Yeah,
He's so salt about losing his own eye. Then he gets a cool robot eye that fires lasers. So if anything, he's actually better now he's lost
got
his
an
eye.
upgrade, yeah.
He's so much cooler. So Bi-Han appeared as Sub-Zero in the first Mortal Kombat game, while Kuai Liang went by the codename Tundra after Bi-Han was murdered by Scorpion. During the first tournament, Kuai Liang swore vengeance on him. He mastered the art of ice and cold and took his brother's former codename.
I love that. It's like, he swore vengeance, but was also pissed off when Scorpion died.
Yeah, and I think if you make Noob Saibot, who is like, Sub-Zero's brother, fight Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 11, just like Noob, he's just like, he delivers the most brutal verbal beatdowns and tells him that you are not worthy of our grandfather's code name.
No.
And Sub-Zero's like, I'll beat the shit out and prove that I can. It's so rough, it's so bad.
Just dunking on his brother.
Yeah, he even says stuff like, I'm glad that you're dead and shit like that. So
Holy shit.
That is a sibling rivalry for the ages. While the younger Sub-Zero was initially depicted as a young Lin Kuei warrior who was living in the shadow of his older brother, more literally now, now his brother is just living shadow, he has since changed and grown into a warrior who has progressed towards the more humane side of moral issues. Yeah. Also, he's like one of the most respected Earthrealm warriors, because why the fuck would you mess with Sub-Zero?
I don't know why you'd fucking do
He's so powerful. He's so good. Like, he can rip a man's spine out with his bare hands.
I mean, they can all do ridiculous shit like that. I don't want to live in that world.
I would.
Well, Johnny Cage can just, like, rip your fucking skull off if he
And
wants.
he's just a movie star.
Yeah.
It's so weird. So, appearance. I think we all know this one, but, maybe there's something in here we're not familiar with. So, Sub-Zero dresses in a familiar blue garb ninja-like uniform. Originally, Sub-Zero was depicted with Asian facial features that are revealed in the ending when unmasked due to his Chinese-American heritage. And have you heard about that? Where it's the voice actor for a lot of the actors in Mortal Kombat 11 was changed to represent where the character is supposed to be from. So they got like an Asian guy to play Scorpion, but for Sub-Zero, because Steve Bloom's so good, they just kept him.
Oh.
And then did you see that they did like a special event skin for Sub-Zero, where it's like some rapper or something?
Oh no.
And they got him to do some voiceovers for it, but he clearly recorded them like in a toilet or something. And the voiceovers are so bad, and someone just uploaded, here's what happens when you make original Sub-Zero fight this shit guy. And the voice is just so bad.
They're so inconsistent. It's like, obviously, the first person that will come to mind when I say this is Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, oh man, it's so bad.
And then you compare that to, like, other recordings for other voice lines, and even the audio quality sounds better. It's really confusing.
Yeah, well, I think I pointed out in another video where there is a moment in the story where Ronda Rousey literally sounds like Tommy Wiseau from The Room. Where he's like, we will not fight, not for you. It's like, what? I don't get it. Anyway, we've skipped a few lines ahead because they're just talking about the outfit changes he had.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh yeah, he went from wearing a ninja outfit to that weird like Ice Warrior one.
Yeah.
And then Conan for a bit, and then he took his mask off, and I hate unmasked Sub-Zero.
It looks so bad.
I like him with the mask. I think it looks cooler.
And I think the updated mask looks really good as well.
Yes. And then there's certain costumes where he doesn't wear it.
It just looks dumb.
Anyway, interestingly, Sub-Zero is one of the few characters in the series to show signs of natural aging, faster than anyone due to the Dragon Medallion. So did you know about that?
No.
So the medallion that he wears, that gives him, enhances his ice powers. It robs him of his youth.
I'd take that trade.
Yeah. I'm now 500 times more powerful, but I'm a bit older.
Yeah.
But I look really cool because he doesn't even get older in a bad way. He gets the little Mr. Fantastic grey there. And then the little crow's feet, but because obviously he's got the most literal piercing blue eyes ever. Because obviously they're just ice eyes now. So it just makes him look even hotter. Right, so we've got combat characteristics here, and there's a subheading called signature moves, so we just go straight to that.
I think we need to head straight there, Karl.
And what do you think is the first thing listed here for signature moves? And I think it's probably one of the most iconic moves in all of fighting games. Behind maybe Scorpion's get over here, the spear.
Behind the Hadouken as well.
Yeah, I think it's up there with it.
Is it the ice slide?
No, it's the ice blast.
Oh, the
one
ice
that
blast,
freezes
okay,
them.
yeah.
Because I love that, because I remember in the very original arcade game, they put it in because they loved the idea of giving someone a free hit. Mm-hmm. And they wanted, obviously, Scorpion and Sub-Zero being the poster boys to both have like something similar. So Scorpion gets the spear, because you a free hit,
right,
and then Sub-Zero gets the ice blast. So Sub-Zero sends a blast of ice directly towards the opponent to temporarily freeze them in place for a free hit. You can also freeze opponents in midair.
Yeah, I love
That's the craziest shit ever, that isn't it? And
when they're like tucked up in a ball in the air and just...
I always wonder why they didn't do like an aesthetic change in like the later games where it frees them and just put like a pillar like rooting to the floor.
I think it just looks so much better when they're a dumb ball of ice stuck in the air.
So he's also controlling gravity, but whatever. So if Sub-Zero were to freeze the opponent twice, the second ice ball would defrost the opponent and freeze Sub-Zero, setting him up for a free hit.
I did not know that.
In one of the earlier games, it did that, yes.
I mean, that's a very clever mechanic.
And I think in later games, it just defrosts them, does a little bit of damage. So it seems like an insult thing. If you freeze them and just launch another ice, like, because it goes so fucking slow. In MK11, there is an enhanced version called the Ice Beam, where instead of a single ball of ice, Sub-Zero shoots a beam of ice.
Oh man,
so
that's
he shoots a Kamehameha wave of ice. In MKX, the enhanced version is called the Ice Blast, and activates faster and is much larger, faster moving projectile rather than a beam. It also has the ability to destroy enemy projectiles on hit.
Yeah.
Equipping Deep Freeze in one of the games allows the attack to be amplified and alter its effects. This ability requires 2 slots when equipped in MK11. Amplifying this attack now has Sub-Zero send a fast-moving ice block and strike ducking opponents. So you can't even duck below it.
It's just listening to you read that though, I'm like, when the fuck did Mortal Kombat come on RPG, like...
Oh man, yeah. The variation
crazy.
system's super fucking awesome. Because I have my one for Shao Kahn, which is called Beef.
Oh,
And then I've got another one called Big Beef, which is where he hits even harder. And all it is all the hammer attacks.
Yeah.
The second move listed is the one you said, the Ice Slide, which I think is one of my favourite moves because like that thing was so fast in the early days.
Yep.
And no one could stop it. Because like the entire other side of the screen sent out a spear and now whoop!
I think that's why when you asked what the most iconic, that's the one I dicked about with the most.
Because it's so fast. And
Yeah.
It's almost like no one knows what to do against it when you just start playing.
And it just looks so stupid when you spam it and he's just... Wah, wah, wah.
Goes all the way across the screen. So the slide, Sub-Zero slides across the floor, knocking the opponent off their feet. It's assumed that Sub-Zero slides by freezing the soles of his feet. I like that. They don't know why he's doing it, but he just freezes the soles of his feet.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's really got? He's got those Sonic Slade shoes. Do you know those ones that you slide down rails on?
Oh, the soap shoes,
I
yeah.
bet he's just wearing them, innit? So the next move is the ground ice, which is the one where they just like slip on it like a jackass. And every character gets that animation, which I fucking adore. We've got the ice clone. And I fucking love the ice clone because in one of the games, they gave him the ability to just throw it.
Oh, yeah.
He just throws it at him. It's so fucking good. And have you seen the thing he does like mid-round in the later games where he like freezes the clone and walks off screen? And then when you stand back up, he walks back on and just punches it. For no reason other than like, fuck you. I'm Sub-Zero.
The intimidation tactic.
Oh man, it's so good. Got the ice counter. Wait a minute, what's this? The ice nugget. Ice nugget. Oh, sorry, it was in MK versus DC.
Oh, so
that's why no one gives a fuck. The ice burst, the frost hammer, the air frost hammer, the polar puncture, the barrier of frost, the frozen aura, the ice burst, the frost bomb, the icy slide, the cold shoulder. I like the name of that one. You know the people naming these moves come up with some fucking puns. Creeping ice, rising ice, frigid storm, death circle barrage, during his emo phase, the polar axe, the arctic trap, deep freeze, and chill out, which is his fatal blow. Which is where the one where he sticks the axes in them, but I fucking love it.
Okay.
I love that they're all named after ice.
Yeah.
And then you just have, for DC, it's ice nugget.
Ice
Just
nugget.
a little nugget of ice. Oh god, that's so fucking lame. So as per usual, Lucas, should we end on the trivia section?
Yes, we shall.
Okay, so Sub-Zero makes a cameo appearance in Injustice Gods Among Us, and is a playable guest character in Injustice 2.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And Joe, what I love about that, because Spawn got released, I think, yesterday.
Oh, did he?
For Mortal
Okay.
Kombat 11, and during one of their character interactions, like Spawn asks Sub-Zero, have you ever been to another dimension? To which Sub-Zero responds, I've seen many injustices. And Spawn responds, maybe that's why my soul still burns. Very obviously references to Injustice 2 and Soul Calibur, in which both those characters made appearances.
That's
but
really
all
cool.
the comments are like, I'm not sure if people missed it, but this line is a reference to Injustice. It's like, we fucking know we're watching a compilation of Spawn quotes.
And it's like, it was so on the nose. They put the title Injustice in his quote.
Yeah. But people are watching it going, oh my god, he referenced Soul Calibur. It's like, of course. And the fact that people think that I noticed it and no one else did.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, so we've got during Sub-Zero's Mortal Kombat 2011 ending, a warrior in shadow can be seen performing the infamous spine-rip fatality on another warrior. This is likely depicting Scorpion's death by the original Sub-Zero. I love that shit. Or maybe it's just something the Lin Kuei teach people, and that's why no fucking mess with the Lin Kuei.
That's their signature move.
Well, they are assassins, and I
True.
would fear a group of assassins. So what do? Do they like poison you? Do they stab you in the night? No, they walk up, freeze you in place, and then you get to see them just rip your spine out of his body. And then if it's Sub-Zero, if they call in Sub-Zero himself, he'll punch your skull and your eyeball will fly out. In an episode of Malcolm in the Middle, Reese mentions the fact that nobody believes that he beat the last level of Mortal Kombat, to which Hal responds, do you remember this quote? It's one of my favourites in that series.
Isn't it just like nobody beats Sub-Zero?
It is, yeah, that's just ridiculous. No one beats Sub-Zero. Oh, Sub-Zero inspired the professional wrestling character known as Glacier in World Championship Wrestling. Ray Lloyd, a regional karate champion, played the role for several years.
I did not know about that.
Did you also know as well that, like, Joe, that Mortal Kombat live action movie?
Yes, yeah.
All of the people who were doing like the stunts for that are like super fucking famous now. I think like, I forget the name, I think it's like Tony Jaa or something like that, some really big famous martial artist today was like Sub-Zero's body double or something.
Oh, right, okay.
It's just really crazy.
But they were all just like stuntmen back in the day.
Yeah, and they're all like wearing masks so no one gives a fuck who they are. So Ed Boon has stated that Sub-Zero was originally going to be called Tundra, which canonically was Sub-Zero's original codename. And he obviously took it to honour his fallen brother before his brother's like, you do not deserve my name! The game Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks has a small Easter egg when two players select Sub-Zero in Versus mode. His Player 2 outfit is recoloured black and resembles Noob Saibot.
Ah, cool.
That reminds me of a glitch in Mortal Kombat 9 that people thought was just part of the game.
Okay.
And it's if you picked like an alternate skin for Noob Saibot, and Joey's clone, like his shadow clone, it would just be smoke.
Oh.
Like smoke would come out of people. It was a glitch, but in one of the earlier games, Noob Saibot and Smoke fought as a team. So people thought it was a reference to that. It's like, no, it's a glitch. We just forgot to like do something. And instead of being like, you know, a recoloured sprite of Noob Saibot, it's just Smoke. And obviously, but it worked out because they did work together in a previous game, and it's just so dumb. In his MK versus DC ending, let's have a look at this one then. He becomes Earthrealm's version of Batman.
Oh my god!
That's a great version of Batman. That's so good.
That's so much scarier than Batman. Batman, but he can freeze you in place and rip your spine out.
Instead of flying everywhere, he just slides in a crouched position. In Mortal Kombat 2, it's possible to defeat an enemy using only uppercuts, which in turn would allow the final blow to be a freeze move. If done quickly, a player could freeze the opponent as a final blow and perform either the deep freeze, uppercut, or the ice grenade to finish their opponent, which would then be followed by a thought and collapse of the character's finish. The result would be to finish an opponent with a fatality while still leaving their body on the screen. Oh, so you'd like explode them, but their body's still with that. That's like when you do a brutality and like 14 rib cages explode out someone's body.
Oh god.
During the making of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Sub-Zero was originally given Taekwondo as his primary fighting style. This was given to Sonya instead. Which makes sense because Taekwondo is a Korean martial art and Sub-Zero is fucking Chinese.
He's like a Chinese assassin using somebody
He's
else's
also not a
martial
ninja. So this is a weird one. In Mortal Kombat X, Sub-Zero is the only character whose X-ray attack does not break or damage any bones.
What does he do to them then?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure, do you know what? Put the clip of it now and we'll have a look. Because I think it's the one where he just nuts them, or maybe that's Scorpion. I think Scorpion's the one where he just lays on the most like Broly nut you've ever seen. Like, doof, and it's like stamps the chest.
The point of the X-ray move is to watch all the bones explode inside of them.
Unless you're doing Johnny Cage's.
Oh yeah, just the nut punch.
Just explode the testicles in one hit. Oh. Sub-Zero makes a cameo appearance in Scorpion's intro in Injustice Gods Among Us. He returns as a DLC character in the sequel, Injustice 2, with Steve Blum reprising his role. Sub-Zero is also mentioned in a clash between Scorpion and Batman, although it doesn't say what that line is. To end on, here's like quite a neat little Easter egg that, you know, is very obvious to fans of the game, but people think, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. In Mortal Kombat 11, when interacting with Raiden, Raiden discusses a dream he had, which Sub-Zero will reply with, of a Dark Knight and a Caped Wonder. This is a reference to both the DC fighting game Injustice, developed by NetherRealm Studios, and Sub-Zero and Raiden's inclusion in them as playable guest characters.
Okay.
But people are like, oh my god, a Dark Knight and a Caped Wonder. Did you know that's Superman and Batman? I bet you didn't. I bet you didn't know. I noticed that, did you? So, oh my god, it's a further reference in an interaction with Cetrion, which Cetrion states to Sub-Zero that his dream of going there was no dream, hinting at the possibility that both Raiden and Sub-Zero actually went into the Injustice universe. They're both, everything's canon in Mortal Kombat, motherfuckers.
God, yeah.
Reset that timeline.